Monsters Don't Get Breakfast, written by Ginny Edwards, illustrated by Jackie Edwards, and narrated by Jessica Edwards. Dedicated to three little angels, Jessica, Jackie, and Jonathan, who first introduced me to monsters. This true story occurred in 1985. The names have not been changed to protect the guilty. Jackie, age 10, illustrated it in 1990. One morning, an extraordinary thing happened. In fact, it was so surprising, so alarming, and so scary that nobody in this family will ever forget it. It happened on a Monday. My mom was at the stove making something she said was breakfast. I know it was Monday because my mother always makes something gross on Mondays. It smells bad, it looks terrible, and she makes us eat it. She even gets up early just to do this. I was at the table sitting in my usual place, making faces at my sister. What a pest! Then it happened. The door to my brother Jonathan's room creaked open. Something started coming out. One hairy foot and then the other. It came into the kitchen, closer, closer, closer. My sister and I were pinned to the table by our chairs so that we could not escape. Help! Quickly, my mom came to the rescue. She grabbed a kitchen spoon so she would be ready if there was going to be trouble. The monster made his scariest scowl. Then he gave us his meanest growl. But my mom wasn't afraid. She put her hands on her hips and said,
"What do we have here?"
The scary thing said in his grumpiest voice,
"I am a monster. I won't want this."
Then he sat down on my brother's chair. Mother was so brave. Looking at that hairy little monster right in the face, she said,
"Monsters don't get breakfast."
Then she looked at us.
"Right, girls?"
she asked. I looked at my sister, who stopped being a pest. She looked at me. I stopped making faces at her. Then we both looked back at Mother and said, "Right, Mother?" The little monster began stomping his big hairy feet, huffing and puffing, till his face began turning red. But that mother of ours wasn't bothered a bit. She pointed the kitchen spoon toward Jonathan's room and ordered,
"Out of the kitchen, monster! Only children with cheerful faces and happy smiles get to eat. Everyone knows monsters don't get breakfast."
Mother looked over at us again. We just folded our hands and smiled our cheeriest smiles. Then the monster turned and stomped out of the kitchen, going back into my brother's room and shut the door behind him. Mother started humming. I turned to my sister. I remembered her name. "Jessica," I said in my nice sister voice. "Want to play after breakfast?" She nodded her head yes, smiling her best sister smile, making her ponytail go up, down, up, down. Mother started dishing up something hot and steamy into 3 bowls. Whatever it was, it sure smelled good. Oh no! Jonathan's bedroom door was opening again. But it was just my brother. He came into the kitchen and sat in the very same chair the monster had sat in only a moment ago. He looked up at Mother and said in a very big boy voice,
"Good morning, Mom."
She put the 3 steamy bowls in front of us. Excitedly, I spoke to Jonathan. "Guess what? You missed it all. A monster came in this morning." Mom gave me a stern look and said,
"Just be quiet and eat, Jackie."
So I stopped talking and put a big spoonful of delicious stuff into my mouth. I sneaked a look at my brother. He was putting an even bigger bite into his mouth. Then he smiled at me. A great big happy one. The end. This has been a Saucy Bean production.